Holy crap. I don't think we've ever been closer to such a momentous change for Bitcoin. This is really crazy. All the announcements that are coming out, all the rumors that are coming out right now, what people are saying behind the scenes. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the videos so you can see all future videos just like this one. I feel like I don't have enough time, right? Like, if you do want to trade crypto, there's a link to BTCC. This is a great time to be trading. I think this pullback is very temporary. I think it's a flush out to try to get people scared, maybe to liquidate some people and to get them off sides before some big news that comes out this week. We're seeing so many things change. If you want to be on the right side of this change, you can go to BTCC. You can leverage trade or spot trade. Of course, make sure you understand the risks, big deposit bonuses, all that kind of stuff. But let's start here. Binance founder CZ says the UAE already has Bitcoin in reserves, and Hong Kong is going to buy Bitcoin as well. We know the US sounds like they're going to buy Bitcoin. States are going to buy Bitcoin. It sounds like Russia and China are going to buy Bitcoin. Take a look at this. Russian parliament deputy just proposed to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve in Russia. Wild times. David Bailey says, after Putin's comments a few days ago, the word has been given to open up all energy resources to Russian miners and scale up Bitcoin mining activity as much as possible. I said this would happen, that nations would be coming into Bitcoin, and I think that's obviously why we start to see some Bitcoin miners try to shift their strategy to buying more Bitcoin while they can and get cheap debt, get convertible notes, because they know that there are going to be countries with free power coming in and basically free labor as well that aren't price sensitive. So they're going to do this to be able to buy more Bitcoin, to be able to absorb more Bitcoin. And as time goes on, like, there's just not going to be much Bitcoin to go around. These are crazy rumors. I mean, think about this. 2 years ago, if I had told you at the bottom of the bear market, when we thought two of the largest exchanges in the world were going to blow up, that in 2 years' time, we were going to see countries buying Bitcoin. Like, we're going to see an arms race to buy more Bitcoin. You would have said I'm crazy. But that's exactly what's happening. Last year, we had some of the largest money managers buying Bitcoin. Now, we have some of the largest entities, some of the most powerful entities in the world, the most powerful, along with the money managers. And at the same time, we have less Bitcoin on exchanges than ever. We have new lows. So just think about this for a second. Think about where we're going if this is true. And we don't have to wait that long. Bitcoin MENA, which is like the Bitcoin Miami conference for the Middle East, is going on right now. And there are all these rumors about people, all these rumors saying that these countries are going to be buying Bitcoin, and there are going to be massive announcements coming out this week. Just like put two and two together here. So Russia's on board, Dubai's on board, Hong Kong's on board, the US probably on board. And this is coming at a time when there's not much to go around. So I'm really excited. A chart that you should be paying attention to. The S&P 500 goes up over time, right? This is what most people invest in through their retirement accounts. They take advantage of growth in companies like Tesla, Amazon, Google. Those have performed really well. However, some of the legacy businesses, not quite as well. So you see those companies, the tech companies, outgrowing everything else. So they kind of are taking over the S&P 500. But at the same time, compared to Bitcoin, they're just being devalued. You can see you used to be able to get 100 Bitcoin for one S&P 500. So like it used to cost $1,500, for example, and you could buy 100 Bitcoin. Now you can get 0.06 Bitcoin. Funny how that works. You can do the same thing with houses. And actually, the former head of the CFTC, so like the SEC, but the CFTC commodities version of it, just talked about Bitcoin on a national scale and talked about how you can buy less Bitcoin. You can spend less Bitcoin today to buy a house than you could 4 years ago and 8 years ago. Like, he is a Bitcoiner, it sounds like. Let me actually play that clip for you and just think about how crazy this is, that we have politicians talking about this and we have people that are regulating Bitcoin talking this bullishly.
climbing more than $100,000 per. This as investors anticipate Donald Trump will usher in a new era of crypto-friendly policies and legislation during his first 100 days. What's that mean to you? Chris Giancarlo is the former chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission under Donald Trump. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in here. Here's a Treasury document called Bitcoin digital gold. We've heard that before, okay? That's one element. Next one, Elon Musk praising El Salvador's impresso crypto reserve. All right, so that's an interesting relationship. Why is this happening now? What does the incoming administration see as favorable for Bitcoin?
You know, there's a number of reasons why this is happening. One is because the technology has come about. We finally reached the stage of the internet where we can go beyond storing information on the internet to actually storing things of value. Things of value like wealth, things of value like ownership of a home. This is what they call the new wave of the internet, an internet of value, and the technology's there. In fact, when you think about Bitcoin or Ethereum or these others, what they really are is protocols that allow us to store value on the internet, as opposed to the way we've been doing it in human society for only the last 400 years, storing value in basically an IOU from a financial institution. And as we've learned in the last 40 years, during which the internet has never gone down, banks have failed, including 3 banks of America's top 20 just in the last 3 years. So moving value storage on the internet is an idea whose time has come.
Okay, you got that?
Kind of. I'm going to ask you this. So on call for number 4, this is the number of crypto millionaires that's been surging. Okay, so I think one of the things that happens, and you had a good question to him initially, which is, what does it mean for you? Because when most people are thinking about themselves, like, well, I don't understand this stuff, so I don't know how to invest in it. One thing you said is crypto is the umbrella. Right? Is that right?
That's right.
And then Bitcoin is one type of crypto.
That's right.
And there are lots of different types of crypto.
Exactly.
So what's a good crypto and what's a bad crypto? How do you know?
Right. So just as there's multiple protocols for storing information, there's HTML, HTTP. They all do different things. Some are good for website establishment. Some are good for email. In a similar way, different cryptos allow you to store different values. Bitcoin, which is the most widely known and has had the most spectacular success, might be the equivalent, as you said, Bill, to digital gold. In the previous world, the analog world, what cash was to gold, in the digital world, digital money may be to Bitcoin. Let me give you another example. We live in a time where 1 out of every $4 has been printed in the last 5 years. We are actively debasing our currency. And at the same time, Bitcoin has, into its design, programmed scarcity. You can never have more than a certain amount of Bitcoin. And so the dollar is depreciating, Bitcoin is appreciating. Quick factoid. In 2018, the average American home would have cost you over $260,000 and over 400 Bitcoin. Today, the average American home is now over $460,000. It would cost you less than 5 Bitcoin. What's been the better investment over the last 5 years, Bitcoin or dollars?
I mentioned the tweet from Elon Musk. The reason he did that is because the government El Salvador, a tiny little Central American country, they embrace crypto.
Yes.
I think it was 2 years ago, I believe now. So they've got 24 months of a track record. Has it worked for them?
Well, I don't know exactly the price, but 2 years ago, Bitcoin would have been less than $30,000 a Bitcoin. Today, it's over $100,000. So they've seen threefold increase of their value of their reserves in El Salvador.
So
it looks like a pretty good investment.
It looks like it's a pretty good deal for them.
Pretty good deal for them.
There's a lot. Can I get your number? I have 20,000 questions. We don't have enough time. And I am interested because I also feel like on the technology side of it, setting aside the money and getting rich and all that, but on the technology side, like if my uncle gets a new car and he's waiting for the title, the technology could make that fast.
Instantaneous.
Right, that's
and
the point.
Accessible by any time, anywhere with a computer.
Okay.
It takes out the middlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I'm getting your number. All right.
And actually, I want to play another clip for you from Michael Saylor talking to Dave Portnoy, explaining Bitcoin really simply. But first, look at this. Today, a massive wealth platform with $250 billion in client assets approved the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF. and the Ethereum version of that as well for thousands of advisors. So the fact is, like, this takes a while. There are still companies that are going through the approval process. There are pensions, there are states, there are countries. They're going through the approval process, and this takes time. So if you think, yeah, all the demand is here for Bitcoin and we're falling down, that's not true. There are pullbacks, even in bull markets. Like, take a look at the previous bull market. Right? We saw a 50-60% drawdown and then raced right back up. So one entity can cause the price to go down, but the fact is there are so many people that want in that the price just isn't falling all that much. So let me play this next clip for you. It's from Dave Portnoy, and it's actually Michael Saylor explaining Bitcoin to him very simply.
Up about 20 minutes ago, and I want to wait. Look at the setup we got here. I want what we talked about because we have the video of the Winklevosses telling me Elon Musk is going to outer space and raining gold down. Confused me. I sold it. You just buy 400-something thousand Bitcoins with your company and you. So if I want to know what I got wrong about Bitcoin, or explain it so I understand it finally.
Yeah, I think let's talk about it in sports metaphors. It's like, first of all, there's some games that you can't play, you got to watch. And if you're just watching the game and the team wins, that means your season tickets are going to get more expensive next year. But there are other games you can play. You go into a casino and you play the game, but you know the game's rigged against you. There are some games where the house wins, you're not winning. And Satoshi created a game that's rigged in favor of the individual.
Is he a real person?
Satoshi is a real person.
Do you know who he is?
Gone but not forgotten.
Do you know who that person is?
We're all Satoshi. We're all Satoshi now, Dave.
Okay.
Right? The most important thing to know is that, like Prometheus gave us fire to warm you up, Satoshi gave us a game we can all win, right? And Bitcoin is that game. It's, you know, there are certain things where, like, you don't want to be on a network where they can censor what you say and they can freeze your account. Bitcoin is a monetary network where it won't censor where you send your money. It won't freeze your account. And it's engineered in such a way that on the margin, you're winning the game over time. So think of it like, wouldn't it be great if you had a basketball team, you had LeBron James, you had Michael Jordan, and you had the digital version of them, and they played forever, and you could get on the court and play with them. And they're scoring 100 points and you're scoring 2 points, but you're all getting rich together and you're all winning together. That's what Bitcoin is like. It's like everybody gets to play. Everywhere in the world I go, there's like a fan club. There's hundreds of millions of people that are on Team Bitcoin. You should join Team Bitcoin. The 100 million fans would be rooting for you. And the great thing about it is you don't just win the game. You get wealthy while you're winning the game.
Okay, that was really interesting. I think a lot of people still don't understand Bitcoin. Even in that clip about the CFTC commissioner, with the CFTC commissioner, they say people don't get it. And it's hard to invest in something you don't get. Sure, I understand that some people feel uncomfortable with that, and you should understand Bitcoin before you buy it. However, you use things all the time that you don't understand, and it's beneficial. You use money, and you don't really understand it. You use savings accounts. You don't really know how the banks work. You invest in things where you don't know where your money's going, right? How many people invest in a 401k and have no idea where their money's actually going? The fact is you should spend time on it because you spend your entire life learning how to make money, trying to make money, agonizing over money that you've made, not making enough, where you should spend it, how you should get more of it. But many people don't spend a few hours trying to figure out how to grow it, how to preserve it. So yeah, you should learn about Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, if you want to trade crypto, there's the link to BTCC underneath the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.